Hello, this will be a presentation on the Radiohead stage collapse. This will be an ethics case study. So, key facts, events, and ethical issues. Live Nation contracted Optech Staging to create the stage for Radiohead's next concert. Optech Staging hired engineer Cugliari to approve the stage design and oversee construction. The design and construction were approved. However, the stage roof collapsed, which killed Scott Johnson and injured three others. The design and construction process was found to be mired with mistakes. So now that the summary is done, here's the ethical issues and challenges. The structure had many key flaws and weaknesses. However, it was approved by the engineer with evaluating its integrity. Like I said, the engineer made the assumption that the trusses used to support the roof were correctly supplied without checking for himself as he was supposed to. These trusses were vastly weaker than the ones required in the design. Gugliari assumed that the trusses sent by the contractor Optech Staging were correct without checking for himself. He also did not check whether or not those beams were correctly attached among other errors during construction that he should have caught had he properly overseen construction as he was tasked to. The design for the stage was created by engineer George Snowden and was used by Optex to assemble 30 or so other stages before the collapse. Gugliari admits that he noticed many glaring mistakes within the design that he spotted. However, despite that, he approved the design and made no efforts to improve the design or warn Optex about the flaws of the design. Cugliari's negligence violated the first code of ethics of engineering, which is put the safety of the public at utmost importance. Optic Staging also knowingly used the wrong truss for that the design required for around 30 stages is set up, including the stage in question, as they did not have the required truss in their inventory. An oversight in regulations meant that a building permit was not needed for the structure, as it was temporary structure created on federal land. A building permit, however, would have had a third party review the building and spot the errors. A construction inspector would have noticed the wrong trusses being used, among the other issues. Had Optic Staging not used his oversight to getting around paying the extra money for a permit, the problems with the design as well as the errors in construction would have been found. Moreover, if there was no oversight and a building permit was necessary, then Optex wouldn't have been able to get away with using the wrong truss. We have chosen Optex Staging as our primary subject. So, what are the ethical issues, challenges, and dilemmas faced by the primary subject? Optex Staging did not have the correct truss to use. Furthermore, according to Cugliari, they did not tell him they were using the wrong trusses. Optex also had the choice to get a building permit to ensure that design that George Snowden made for them was sound and followed the Ontario Building Code. So Optex would have had four options to go forward. Optex could request a building permit to have their professional engineers on Ontario to ensure that design and construction follow the building code. This, however, would incur larger costs as there are fees for building permits, as well as needing to rehire an engineer to fix any errors that are to come. Or Optex could issue the building permit and trust that George Snowden made no errors in his design, potentially endangering the public from the risk of failure. Optex could contract new trusses from a supplier, however this would sustain costs and waste the previous trusses bought. Or Optex could continue using the wrong trusses that were used previously and endanger the lives of those intending, but however would avoid the temporary economic setbacks of needing to buy new trusses. From a deontological perspective, a building permit was not required by law for technical reasons. Therefore, from a lawful point of view, there was nothing wrong with skipping the permit. However, knowingly using the wrong pillar without informing the risk to the public breaks Rule 4 of the Code of Ethics. Quote, present clearly to employers and clients the possible consequences if engineering decisions or judgments are overruled or disregarded. End quote. It is the right of the public to be informed of the risk if Optex were to issue safety of any kind. From a utilitarian perspective, however, the potential danger to the lives of everyone attending would outweigh the initial heavy setbacks of having to recontract new trusses from another supplier. From a purely economic point of view, potentially risking the reputation of the company and the legal issues that were to come following an accident because of vicarious liability, especially with such a glaring issue that would most likely cause failure only in a matter of time, is not worth the temporary setbacks. Family test. I am reminded of my brother and his considerable hatred towards companies or figures of authority who would forego the well-being of their customers and lie to maximize their profits. Those who would see the customers or those involved as tools rather than people. My father with Christian values would similarly scorn me, as to him it is not just ethical but a sacred value against selfishness. So what's my decision? If I were in this situation, I would choose to order new trusses to ensure the safety of the public. I would also get a building permit to at least ensure that the design made by Snowden was properly peer-reviewed.